Hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Hat Valet review video. Today we're going to be looking at the Tudor Heritage Black Bay Steel and Gold with the champagne dial on the bracelet. So let's take a look. And this is my watch, my personal watch. I'm quite pleased with it. I picked it up in July and I gotta say I couldn't really be happier. It's a gorgeous summer watch and it's very unusual, very different than most of my other watches. Let's get into some of the specifics though. We'll start with the case. We're looking at a pretty hefty watch. It is a 41 millimeter case size, and lug to lug, we're talking right around 50 millimeters outright. And then we're talking about 14.8 millimeters thick, and the lug width is 22 centimeters. Millimeters. I meant millimeters, but I'm not going to shoot the whole thing over because I said centimeters. I meant millimeters. Tapering down to 18 centimeters. Millimeters. Millimeters. At the clasp. It has a solid screw down case back. Alright. And it has this crown with no crown guards. Very old fashioned, nice big crown with the pre-1970s Tudor Rose logo. Alright. Moving on to the dial. It's a gorgeous golden sunburst pattern. They call it champagne. I'm not sure why they would call it an S&G for steel and gold. Give it such a golden dial and then call it champagne of all things as opposed to gold, but it looks golden to me. The indices are gold, they're applied and chock full of superluminova. Though I will say this, and we'll do a lume shot later, it doesn't really have the best lume. It's pretty bright when you first charge it up, but it doesn't hold up as well as Seiko or my Oris Aquis, and I was a little disappointed to see that. Like Seiko with Lumibright, I have a Seiko, a Samurai, and I kind of figured it might not hold up as well in terms of in the long run with the lume, but it doesn't really, not even with the Oris Aquis, so a little disappointing. Alright, the dial text is a little bit much, 200 meters, 660 feet, in case you don't know how to do meters to feet. Chronometer officially certified. I've never been a big fan of the words officially certified on watches. I don't need it. Plus it says Tudor, and then it has the Geneve, and then it also has that newer symbol for Tudor, the Tudor shield. Even right there, Swiss made. A lot of text, but a good looking dial, a great effect. The bezel is a black anodized aluminum insert, but the actual physical bezel is solid 18 karat gold. And this crown right here is capped gold, but it's super thick capped gold. It's over a half a millimeter thick. And then you have the gold as well on the center links. Now on these center links here, from my understanding is it's just about a quarter of a millimeter thick. So that's capped, that's rolled, that's not plated. You're not going to work your way through that too easily. If you are wearing this watch and you hit the ground hard enough to get through to the steel underneath, I'd be a lot more worried about your hand than I would be about the watch. And then I'm a little iffy about this. I've seen reviews that say that the solid links here are solid 18 karat gold, and I've seen others that don't make that claim. So I'm not sure what to think one way or the other. Now, the links, all the links are satin, which I kind of prefer. And it, like I said, it kind of taper down into this clasp, and it's pretty good. Got the Tudor there and some high polish. Flip it in. Little, I guess that's like a grabs. Now it has these in here, right here, it has these spring-loaded ceramic pin snaps, and they don't wear the way normal pins do. So the bracelet and the clasp never loosens up over time the way it would otherwise. You put that in, you flip this over, and it's very, very secure. Has 3 micro adjustments, but that's it. We have these screws here for actual removal, but we have these, I guess they're mock rivet style. That's that kind of older aesthetic. And that's one of the things about this watch. You're going to get a modern case size with a vintage aesthetic. It has the old snowflake hand for the hour and that little pip on the second hand. So you get that, and then you get the rivet look, even though it's not really rivets. But you get all the accoutrement and size of a modern steel sports watch with a pop of gold. And I got to tell you, it's a great summer watch. I've really had a good time with this in between like April and through September. I don't really wear it that much in the winter. It doesn't kind of go with anything quite as much. But in the summer, when you're walking down the street, you got a little bit of a tan, you're wearing short sleeves, maybe some light colored shoes or some lighter colored pants, something maybe in khaki or light colored jeans, or even linen, like some linen pants or a linen shirt. This looks great. This is just, it's got the shock resistance and the water resistance, and it's got the silicone hairspring, so it's pretty anti-magnetic. It's a rugged watch for the summer. Will look good on your wrist at the beach, look good at your wrist on the golf course or playing tennis, all that active, fine weather fare. In fact, this is a rough enough watch in terms of water resistance, with 200 meters water resistance, that you can wear this thing water skiing and hit the water pretty hard and not worry about your watch going all to pieces, because it does have a screw down crown and it is very ruggedly built. It's as ruggedly built as any other Black Bay. It just has this nice pop of gold everywhere that makes it, I think, very, very handsome. Now, the bezel is a 60-click unidirectional bezel. It's got a pretty good detente, so to speak. You can hear that? That's pretty nice. It's not Rolex nice, but it's pretty good, all things considered. Now, there are a couple negatives about it. One of them is that it's a brick on the wrist. The 14.8 millimeters thick, and a lot of it is the case. It's not like you have this huge dome sapphire. It is a lot of case. That is a big slab of case. And I have a 6 3/4 to 7 inch wrist, really 6 3/4, I guess. And I can wear it, but I would not want to have like a much smaller wrist than what I have. So it is a big watch, and I don't recommend it for people with a watch, I would say a wrist under 6 1/4 inches. I wouldn't say that's a good idea. It will dominate your wrist. You might like that though, some people do. Another negative is that it doesn't have, it's a diver technically, but besides these 3 micro adjustments, there's nothing else. There's nothing that you can do on the fly that would make it bigger. You can't put nothing to adjustment for a wetsuit or anything like that. It's a sports watch with diver certification. I can't imagine anybody who's seriously into diving would wear this thing while they're doing it. Now, the price for this brand new, if you go into a boutique, is $5,200 in the United States. That's US dollars. But I went in and, well, I didn't go in, I actually met the guy, but I got it for basically $1,000 off. And that was not a hard negotiation at all. So you can get a nice chunk off of the price, which is one of the reasons that it's not going to hold its value, is because they're selling them at below retail as it stands already. And that's another slight negative. So it's not going to hold its value. But you're getting a huge amount of watch. And there's some things here that I wish Grand Seiko and Omega would, take some of their cues from Tudor. And one of them is really just that situation right here with the spring-loaded ceramic pins. It's hard for me to open this when I'm wearing gloves. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. There we go. Right in here. I mean, this is the kind of thing that stops it from getting loose over time, from getting worn over time. And I really do wish that I see a little bit better out of some of the other good brands. I have an Omega Master Aquaterra, and I've owned a Grand Seiko or two, and well, I'll tell you, the Grand Seiko's really skimp on the bracelets. I've got to tell you that. But is this a good value proposition? Compared to the other Black Bays, you're paying a decent amount for the gold. But you can get a pretty big discount on this. You can get a discount on any Black Bay except for the 58s, especially the 58 blue. But you're paying a decent amount for the gold, and it's not a lot of gold. There's gold in the bezel is real. There's a lot of cap gold here on the crown. These solid links here might be solid gold. I'm not clear on that. I don't want to say they definitely are. I've heard that they are. I've heard other people who I respect, like Tim Masso, not say anything about it one way or the other. So maybe they're not. It is an in-house movement, and it has a 70-hour power reserve and a silicone hairspring, full balance bridge. It's water resistant, it's shock resistant, it's pretty anti-magnetic. And a 70-hour power reserve is a pretty darn, it's becoming more of a standard nowadays. It's going up very quickly with all the different brands, and Tudor is doing very well. This watch in particular that I've had it for about 7 months, maybe 8 months. I think it's 7 months. And I'm averaging about +2 to +3 seconds a day, which is just about perfect as far as I'm concerned, cost certified watch. So would I recommend this watch? Yeah, I would. I mean, you're not going to be able to buy a decent sports Rolex unless you get really lucky or you're spending an obscene amount of money. And you got to start looking for alternatives if you're looking for a watch, like a bit of a grail watch if you're not particularly wealthy, or if you do have some money to spend on a watch. A good solid watch that you can enjoy, that kind of pops on the wrist, that is rugged and useful and can last. And I think this is a great alternative. It's much less expensive than a sub, and it's much less expensive than a sub that's a two-tone with the gold. And it won't hold its value like the Rolex, but you don't really need it to. Like I said, you can buy it at discount enough that it doesn't really matter. And it's just a good piece. I'm very happy to have it, and I can't say enough good about it. We'll do a quick lume shot, and then that'll probably be it. All right, here's our lume shot, and it looks really good at first, but it does fade a little faster than my Oris Aquis and distinctly faster than Seiko Lumibrite. It's good without being great. So yeah, it looks nice. It's a lot of lume, but it doesn't last quite like the other watches that I have. This was a little bit of a disappointment considering the price point. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. We'll be doing some other stuff later in the week. Till then, bye.